ask you to, can we have like a group hug and just look at each other really awkwardly and then move our chairs right up to the front? Can we do that? Yeah?
Oh, you want me to so I was at the front.
No, really at the front, really uncomfortably close.
Are you ripping into my assignment today or not?
I already have ripped in it and I've already posted it to Moodle. I've done worse than that. I've publicly
Come on, guys.
posted your
Quick, chop,
assignment
chop,
ripped to
chip,
Moodle.
What, you're in 24?
Yeah.
Am I ready to go on Moodle?
How come I'm sitting here?
Yes. Go on out. Go on
How you doing? Oh, I'm on the
I
camera.
went for a little bit of marking and
Yeah.
placement.
Very nice.
I just wanted to be saying.
Is that what you're on about?
Well, yes and yes.
I'm not close enough.
Yes.
Because I've done the BTEC form for it as
So
well.
I'm going to sit here
Can we
and
come,
I want to have a look
can you
at my
can you
assignment.
come right up to the front?
That's made me
Come on,
scared.
chip chop guys. Stop chatting, start learning.
Shut your mouth, pop, pop. You're only one
Okay, are we
now.
recording here?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, welcome to Level 4 HNC Unit 24. Looking particularly now at LO4 testing. What are your approaches and methodologies for testing? Testing is worth, in theory, 25% of each of your units. In practice, way more. You should be spending 30 to 40% of each unit on testing. The tendency of graduates from level 3 into level 4 is to underestimate testing and downplay it. But because this is a computer science course, because it's computing, testing really gains prominence and importance in a way that didn't exist on level 3. So what are the approaches to testing on Unit 24? Well, you could, a really good testing approach for your network system is to virtualize it, get it onto a virtual machine, and set up bridged network connections on your virtual machine, and then test the virtual machine. That's really good standard practice. Test number 1. Do all your workstations have internet connection? That's pretty fundamental. Okay, so we failed a couple of weeks ago
And
on that.
Monday.
Yeah, on Monday as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
What, your supercomputer didn't have internet connection?
No, it failed totally because the IT network's connected to East Kent College and I can't.
Now, previous HNCs and HNDs have used video to evidence each of their tests. Remember, we're trying to get that word count really down low. So here on the test report, we have links to the corresponding test video. We've got a micro video there of testing the internet connection on the client workstations using the ping command, just a straightforward ping to the client workstations. Then Squid server, we talked about before you arrived this morning, we were talking about using Squid. And we could use Squid for load balancing and network load management. So is the Squid server actually functioning? Use the cat commands to print the contents of the 2 log files, and the admin can see if there are any errors, and then a short video. Is it working or not? So use the cat command, that's the catalog units command to get the output results from the server. Do users not have super user root access? Okay, you don't want end users on a network system having super user privileges. You don't want them having PowerShell access if they're on a Windows machine. I've taught HNCs in labs where all the students have got PowerShell access. You've got PowerShell.
Yeah, we need PowerShell.
See? That's okay. That's not like ideal
Just don't
network management configuration
We've
for
had PowerShell
college.
on
can I
these machines
just-
since they came into the college, which is technically they've bridged their own IT policies with that.
Yeah. Okay. Don't do that in your networks. In your network projects, don't do that. Okay. Make sure you lock down your user access. You can use the rm command to remove any directories owned by root users. And you can set that up.
What about if you've created a on Windows? I've given them slight admin rights,
Yeah.
but they haven't got full access. Is that okay?
Okay, so you've got access level permissions, you've got read, write access, edit, delete.
They can also install programs,
Okay,
but they can't alter the OS.
right,
That's pretty much it.
okay. So
I'm
that's,
not- I'm not
can
there
you
all the
put
time.
that in your test documentation? So we've got something that represents that in that grid, that, okay, you've got more than one layer of permissions access. Okay, this is something that in Clover of the MIS system will be very familiar with, because on the SharePoint system there are 5 core levels of permissions. We call them contribute, reader, admin. Okay, those are SharePoint access level permissions, and that's really important, the level of permission that the user has when they're logged on to the SharePoint content management system, which is currently running on cloud. Do the users have access to terminal emulator? Yes or no? Okay. That's odd. Why would you want on your own network the user to have access to the terminal?
Well, my user's got access to terminal.
Is that a good thing?
Well, it is and it isn't. One, because they don't know how to use it, and two,
think
it's
it
easier
depends.
if they're stuck. I can ring them up and go run this,
Yeah.
and they fix their computer.
Yeah, it does genuinely depend. If users know how to Privesk, then there's obviously an issue there,
Yeah.
because they then suddenly become admins without you even knowing.
Yeah.
But for most basic users who have command line or terminals on their machines, it's not generally an issue, because they don't even know what it is half the time.
We have clients that use it for testing, so
Yeah.
they do a lot of stuff like that. But then we still have to monitor it, and we still have overall control.
Yeah.
They have features of it. So.
Yeah. Users have, okay, so a scenario where that would be advantageous, you're the network admin, you created the networking system yourself, you are troubleshooting one of the clients within your domain on your network, you can get straight into terminal. Fantastic. That's what you need, that's what you want. It's a bit like when Jai runs HPC in this room. He likes the fact that he can go to that corner of the room, he can get into BIOS, he can get into the the command line system, the MFI, he can get into the backbone of the HPC system.
Just remember on the BIOS, if you set a password, don't forget it.
I know,
Yes.
I know the BIOS password now.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, yeah, to
Well,
your
that's why
server.
Josie's not coming on.
Check that users have their own configurations of desktop and system settings. So if you're in the Astrovotech team, like Dan is, you are sorted, Dan, because you've already done that. You've already defined configuration settings for end user hairdressers. You've made sure and you've tested that they've got the desktop, that they've got those particular system settings. And you've got that in your Astrovotech test grid, or you should have.
Yeah.
Okay, which is absolutely fine. And I've even got videos that that would support that on the desktop screen. So it's making sure that there's a home directory for a user. I know that there are issues with Astrovotech with privacy for the home directory for the users. That could be documented as well, but that's all part of your testing.
Is there an issue with that?
Yeah.
Go on, I'm going to go and give hairdressing a lesson in that.
Dan, there's nothing wrong with putting that issue into your test grid and having that as a fail. Nothing wrong with that.
It's good to have failures, though. That's what I was telling everyone.
Okay, really important bit here that students miss out on. LO4. LO4. Enhancements. What you do, you take the fails and the weaknesses of your system, you step back, you reflect on it, and then you suggest possible future enhancements and improvements to the system. So, for example, I'll give you examples of improvements we can put on. We can put on a file server and a print server. So on the first version of this setup, I didn't have a file server or a print server, and then after installation, the students were like, I want to print something. You put it in the printer server, use Samba services for file server, and Samba will work with network address translation, pluggable authentication modules, and lightweight directory access protocol. And you can integrate all of your data from multiple sources using XML. Very relevant for you, this. Okay? Mixed environments, multiple databases, set up your Samba file services, have authentication, Kerberos, going between the systems, and then you've got pluggable authentication modules and network address translation dealing with that authentication process of the transmission of data from one mixed environment network to another mixed environment network. And that's incredibly useful for data migration. Yeah.
Do you have an issue with Samba? It's
Yeah.
too complicated.
There is a graphical user interface add-on built by SUSE Deutschland, which provides a shiny easy to use front end for Samba, and it gives you a single graphical map of your network, and it's got drag and drop capability as well.
But there is an issue with that in the sense that if you're using, say, Ubuntu server, it's entirely command line based unless you can be bothered to put in GNOME or LDS,
Desktop.
which makes any graphical user or GUI for Samba useless. Like.
Correct. You might be in a server environment that disallows you to install a GUI,
Yeah.
or that just doesn't even have that layer of compatibility. If you're in a virtualized server, you're no chance. If you're on a 5th layer virtualization, you're not going to get a GUI for Samba.
Oh, damn it.
But I just find Samba's too complicated. If I was going to, actually, I have developed file servers, or tried to with Samba, but it's been,
Samba is the most advanced exam module you can do in the Linux Professional Institute. It's at the very, 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 very end. It's the hardest thing you can do in Linux. It is hard.
Yeah, I got Samram to help me do my Samba file server.
Yeah.
He'd done it once, doesn't know how to do it anymore. He resort to installing Windows Server on my PC so that we could create a file server. And that doesn't even work.
Why? Why do you revert to that? Why don't you start up Linux on the Pi and leave it in a corner?
Because still you need the power of Samba, and Samba's a piece of crap.
I haven't used Samba to set mine up. I just created a folder and shared it.
No.
Yeah, it's the
Not good
easiest
enough.
way.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, check the software
Terrible
installations
drive to index.
on your router. If you're using a router in your network system, what is the software that you're running on the router? What is the latest software available on your router system?
What about if you can't get that because you don't have access to your router?
Then you can put that in your enhancement section. You can say, although the router could potentially benefit from enhancements on the later releases,
But,
you don't have access to it.
but the router's updated by the hosting company. I mean, I don't have to touch it. It's Cisco. I'm not certified to go into it.
Okay. Worth putting in enhancements, worth putting in the fact that it is updated by that company, and worth being aware what those updates would be, because those are potential enhancements. That next release could be critical in providing better and newer services.
Well, they buggered up the other week. They updated halfway through the day.
I mean, how often do you guys do updates in operations in the workplace? It's scary stuff. I know Port of Dover are very cautious about this. And they're the last people to get some bleeding edge beta release deployed immediately into operations.
We have been doing a lot lately because of what's been going on.
Yeah.
Go get your job.
Yeah, we have Spencer Wing as one of our clients.
Spencer Wing?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you had fun. Did you were talking about that? You know the hack the NHS done? A geezer up north was looking into it, found it was spoofing a domain,
Yeah.
bought the domain, and halted it for 24 hours.
Guys bought the domain
and the
that
geezer
it
gets no
registered
praise.
to, and it stopped at peak.
Yeah, but
No, but it wasn't even a registered domain. It was a.
Or it was
You bought
spoofing the
it.
domain, yeah, but he bought it and it halted it for 24
Yeah.
Sorry,
hours.
this is my
But the geezer gets no praise for it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He halted it to help the NHS out, and what did he get?
You know,
Touch wood,
No,
it
but
hasn't
he
affected
didn't.
us.
He didn't want to be known, did he?
Yeah, but then people found out who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me.
okay.
And
Sorry
it's
to
in
interrupt there.
Wales, isn't it?
It's fine.
It was to do with networking.
It
Would
was.
like to point out.
It was. That's good. That's really good. So, what does your router support? Are there limitations on the support that your router can provide within your network system? Would you need 24 ports, or could you upgrade it to 48 on your system? So here that would mean connecting two rooms together. So instead of doing HPC in one room, it would mean doing it in two.
This ain't my paper, is it?
So enhancements, don't overlook enhancements. When you're doing LO4, step back objectively after you've done your test log and look at the potential improvements. Also maintenance, in the same way on the web unit, you've got maintenance handover turnkey to the customer. You've got the same thing in networking. How are you going to constantly run maintenance? I've only got one word to say about maintenance. Cron.
I have an issue with cron. Not
Okay.
everyone uses Linux.
Yes, but most people are using Linux in their networking projects.
But
Joe
I'm
is
not.
using Linux. Dan is using Linux. Patrick, I think you're using Linux.
And also with Microsoft
Okay.
of some description.
Okay.
Actually, that's a point. I need a hand from you in regards to a Condoc.
Okay.
I want it to wipe the subdomain every 24 hours
Okay. There's a script for that.
and reinstall it.
There's a script for that.
Good.
Now, if Gary was here, he'd be talking about Puppet being used to update client machines and keep configuration files the same. He's a huge fan of Puppet right now. I'm not going to talk about Puppet because that's very much Gary's thing, especially right now, so I'm going to overlook that. But think, if you are, those of you who have just mentioned that are running Linux networks, could you use Puppet within your system? It's just a question I'm putting out there for future maintenance. Now look at these references. Here are the references that link to all the documentation I've shown you. There's a hell of a lot of Wikipedia. Does that matter?
On
In networking, you
no.
said no,
Correct.
because you can't really
Yeah. So,
anything the way it's saying.
okay, so what's wrong with that reference?
It hasn't got any numbers on it. What's it reference to?
What's wrong with that reference?
They're
What's it
not
reference to?
Why is it not?
What's wrong with that reference?
They're
What's
not in
wrong with that
brackets.
reference? They're all wrong.
You don't know what it's reference to.
Something missing. It's supposed to be Harvard referencing of web pages.
And there's many things missing. I don't use Harvard referencing. I use Bank of England,
British Library.
British Library, that one. So I don't understand half of that anyway. I would have done it differently anyway.
Hang on a minute.
I'm impressed that you're using British Library referencing.
OpenSSH 2017, OpenSSH online. She hasn't put a date, she's gone to it.
If there's no dates.
It's not formatted properly.
When were the websites accessed?
Yeah, that's what I mean, the date. It's not the date available.
When did they look at? I mean, when are we looking at these websites?
I ain't got a clue.
Are they up to date? Or are they out of date? We don't know. We don't know. Whereas look at these references instead. Look at that.
Access, yeah, that's where she started using Harvard referencing.
What about that? Is that okay? Is that
You
good
changed
referencing?
that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that good?
yeah. Better.
Better?
But it's in the future.
Oh, that's why I was getting
But to
confused.
be fair, on the Cat 5 and Cat 6, it looks like she's just stuck on Wikipedia.
It does also look like everything has come from Wikipedia.
Yeah, but I'm not being
Almost.
funny.
No, it's not actually everything. We've got references to Arch.
I'm
They're
not.
still wiki pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a sub off of wiki.
If I'm not
That's
being funny,
fine.
especially
Don't
Cat
mind.
5 and Cat 6, you can go to Excel website and get
Yeah.
all this specs on it. It looks like-
Okay. Has anyone got any further ideas or questions surrounding the evaluation of the quality of your network, the maintenance of your network, or the testing of your network? Has anyone got any ideas? Yeah?
Do you think I'll get in trouble if I try and test my hosting company?
No. Well, you want to do a DDoS attack on your...
No, because you won't be able to get in.
Inform them first that you're going to perform any kind of cyber attack on the network.
Oh,
Yes.
No, it's not a cyber attack. It's I am testing the network.
It's cyber security.
But
No.
I have an issue because I'm shared with another 20
If
different
in
companies.
doubt, on this course, if in doubt, contact manufacturers, contact authorities, contact whoever you're dealing with. It will get you the D3 point, because you're using convergent natural thinking. It will cover your back with copyright, litigation, legal measures. Always, if in doubt, if you've got the slightest doubt, contact who you're dealing with for permission. It's a bit like you this morning. Politely asking permission from the boss whether you could release a sensitive, confidential data report for me. That's fine. A bit like Patrick this morning. He's got PlayStation running on Sony. He's got a pirate version of software to run on it. He needs permission from Sony to customize that software.
Yeah, everyone needs permission and stuff, but we just click we agree to the terms and conditions.
Please contact the manufacturers. Please contact, get that copyright permission.
It's funny because everyone says about agreeing to terms and conditions and stuff like that, but then so many
Okay.
people complain after.
Yeah. Anyone else got any ideas, questions, or proposals for testing and maintaining networks? Abby, how do you do that at the port? How do they test the network? How do they maintain it? How do they...
Carefully.
Yeah, there's usually a update that goes on
Hmm.
at a certain time. I can't remember what time it is. But we've just recently updated basically everything. We're going through it just to make sure we're safe from.
If it ain't broke, don't touch it.
Yeah, but because of what's gone on, we've had to.
Yeah.
I wonder if the the Navy's actually finally updated their submarines operating system.
Probably not.
Yet. Due to that attack. They're all the submarines and that, and the both are in the XP, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wales NHS wasn't affected though.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Wales NHS wasn't
That's
affected.
because Wales have only just discovered the internet.
And all they Google is sheep.
It's because they stopped all incoming emails.
Yeah.
Outgoing
Wales.
Yeah,
Charlie,
but,
Charlie.
I'm sure it weren't just our NHS though, was it? It was
Testing
all
procedures,
around the world.
the
and
network,
everyone was
maintenance.
Yeah.
But it was all sour.
We've
It was
got
all kind of
a team. We've got a team of 2 members that
Yeah.
have a load of monitoring software.
Yeah.
We get audio alerts when
Yeah.
networks are going down or
Yeah.
when things are going on.
Yeah.
We just run scripts and things like that.
Can you get screenshots of that?
Yeah.
And videos?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you just passed all of Unit 5. Well done. Good, well done.
all in Unit 5.
Yeah.
We
He's
have
doing a different
we
unit.
have a monitoring.
I'm just
system.
mapping, I'm just like mapping, because I've got multiple learning aims in the same room. We've got 3 different courses concurrently running, and I can map to every single one of them.
That
Crazy.
There's someone at the door, James, someone at the door.
Yes, of course, yes. Right. Just think about that. Just have a deeper think now. Testing procedure.